readers, we are back. This is Readers Corner with Kinsani, and today we are looking at the lessons I've learned from The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. Before I get into that, there's a book I'm currently reading, and it's a fantasy book by Jeremy. It's quite lengthy, but it's interesting, guys. And I will do a review on Instagram, so please look out for that. And if you want to support Jeremy, I'll leave a link below so you can purchase his book. He's a South African author, so we'd really appreciate you guys actually supporting him. So let's get into The God of Small Things. Ukawe Nkgopotse recommended this book to me years ago while in varsity, and it has influenced me in so many ways. And so it is set in, I just thought it's important to just give you a brief background because this is a novel. So for you to follow with the lessons I've learned, you actually need to understand a few characters. It is set in Kerala, Yemenim, India, and we have twins Rahel and Esther. And Rahel retells the story of the Ipe family. This story centers around a life-changing visit from Rahel's cousin, Sophie Moll, who drowns while accompanying Rahel and Esther to the history house. The events of the drowning, the political landscape, and the murder of Rahel's mother's lover, who is Amu, changes their lives, and they become very quiet and start to live very sad lives. So Arundhati Roy explores various themes in the book. She explores politics. She looks into biases against the lower caste system, cultural beliefs and religion, strained family relationships, environmental impacts because of the Green Revolution in India, love laws, and sexual abuse. These are some of the things that Arundhati Roy explores in the book. So the lessons I've learned from the book, number one, is the caste system in India. This was a rigid social group characterized by hereditary transmission of lifestyle, occupation, and social status. Arundhati Roy mentions that there were people who were deemed to be touchable and people deemed to be untouchables. And these untouchables were called paravans. Rahel's mother fell in love with a paravan, but at that time you were actually shunned upon to fall in love with somebody who is untouchable. So the paravans or the untouchables were not allowed, for example, to walk on public roads and had to cover their mouths when they spoke. And one of the remarks from Rahel's mother was that Veluta, being Rahel's mother's lover, would have been an engineer if he wasn't a paravan. So basically, they failed to see the touchables as fellow creatures worthy of respect, and this affected the story a lot. I think the lesson here for me was how this caste system then does not recognize people. You know, you have people who are deemed worthy of love, deemed worthy of certain professions, deemed worthy to live in certain spaces, to own land, to become doctors. And then you have people called untouchable who are not worthy to interact with this higher society of people. The second thing that I learned is that human beings are creatures of habit. And I'm going to read from a quote from the book where it says that when Papachi died, which is Rahel's grandfather died, their mother said to them that Mamachi was crying more because she was used to him and not because she loved him. Human beings are creatures of habit, and it was amazing the kind of things they could get used to. I think the lesson here for me was Mamachi used to be abused by Papachi, and Rahel's mother is basically saying that she had gotten used to being abused, that like she had gotten used to it. Like when we become creatures of habit is you can stay in a place that smells that you can no longer even know that it smells. The third lesson is the simple unswerving wisdom of children. Here from Arundhati Roy's writing, you see how graceful she writes about children, how sensitive she is, and how aware she is of children's wisdom. I thought that to be quite inspirational. And the fourth thing from the book that I learned was the treatment of women during the time during the time or the setting of the book. Amu, or Rahel's mother, was actually a divorcee, and she was raising these twins by herself, and she was being bullied for it. She was not accepted in society, or seen as capable of raising the children by herself. There were constant remarks of a child needs a father, or she was not recognized, or she was not thought to have a voice because she was a single unmarried mother. Last but not least, the last lesson I learned from the book, and I'm going to read from a quote from there. It says that Valea Papin feared for his younger son. He could not say what it was that frightened him. It was nothing he had said or done. It wasn't what he said, but the way he said it. Not what he did, but the way he did it. And I wrote a note on this, and I thought that there's a way in which we can be resolute without noise and disrespect. There's a way in which we can assert ourselves, own our space, and defy the status quo without being loud. Veluta was this, and this is terrifying because his actions are unpredictable. So yeah, guys, that is The God of Small Things. I recommend that you read this book. For anyone who likes novels and reading, this is a book I definitely recommend. And let's talk about what to expect next on Reader's Corner. And you can expect us to talk about All About Love by Bell Hooks, an author that I absolutely love. And if you've read The Road Less Traveled, Bell Hooks ventures into some of the themes that Scott Perk in The Road Less Traveled speaks about. Thank you, guys. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow our page, Re-Envision Wholeness. I will leave the link down below. Goodbye.